describing data, frequency tables, frequency distributions, and graphic presentation. Chapter 2. Goals: organize qualitative data into a frequency table. Present a frequency table as a bar chart or a pie chart. Organize quantitative data into a frequency distribution. Present a frequency distribution for quantitative data using histograms, frequency polygons, and cumulative frequency polygons. Pie charts, used with qualitative data. Pie chart using Excel. Pie chart example, page 27, exercise 6. A small business consultant is investigating the performance of several companies. The fourth quarter sales for last year, in thousands of dollars, for the selected companies are shown in the table. The consultant wants to include a pie chart in his report to compare the fourth quarter sales of these corporations. Frequency distribution. A frequency distribution is a grouping of data into mutually exclusive categories showing the number of observations in each class. The table shows a frequency distribution for a set of quantitative data. Frequency table. Bar charts, used with qualitative data. Example, frequency table and bar chart. The Excel spreadsheet lists the home state data for all of my undergraduate students for fall 2008. There are n equals 95 students. We want to create a frequency table and bar chart for this data using Megastat. From the frequency table and bar chart, we see that over 3/4 of the students are from Florida, the other students are nearly equally distributed among 11 other states or non-USA. Relative class frequencies. Class frequencies can be converted to relative class frequencies to show the fraction of the total number of observations in each class. A relative frequency captures the relationship between a class total and the total number of observations. Example, creating a frequency distribution table for quantitative data. Ms. Catherine Ball of Auto USA wants to develop tables, charts, and graphs to show the typical selling price on various dealer lots. The table on the right reports only the price of the 80 vehicles sold last month at Whitner Autoplex. Frequency distribution, quantitative data. Class midpoint, a point that divides a class into two equal parts. This is the average of the upper and lower class limits. Class frequency, the number of observations in each class. Class interval, the class interval is obtained by subtracting the lower limit of a class from the lower limit of the next class, constructing a frequency table. Example. Step 1, decide on the number of classes. A useful recipe to determine the number of classes, k, is the 2 to the k rule, such that 2k greater than n. There were 80 vehicles sold, so n equals 80. If we try k equals 6, which means we would use 6 classes, then 26 equals 64, somewhat less than 80. Hence, 6 is not enough classes. If we let k equals 7, then 27 128, which is greater than 80. So the recommended number of classes is 7. Step 2, determine the class interval or width. The formula is IHL/K, where I is the class interval, H is the highest observed value, L is the lowest observed value, and K is the number of classes. $35,925, $15,546/7 equals $2,911. Round up to some convenient number, such as a multiple of 10 or 100. Use a class width of $3,000. Constructing a frequency table. Example. Step 3, set the individual class limits. Constructing a frequency table. Step 4, Tally the vehicle selling prices into the classes. Step 5. Count the number of items in each class. Relative frequency distribution. To convert a frequency distribution to a relative frequency distribution, each of the class frequencies is divided by the total number of observations. Graph of a frequency distribution, for quantitative data. The three commonly used graphic forms are histograms, frequency polygons, cumulative frequency distributions. Histogram. Histogram for a frequency distribution based on quantitative data is very similar to the bar chart showing the distribution of qualitative data. The classes are marked on the horizontal axis and the class frequencies on the vertical axis. The class frequencies are represented by the heights of the bars. Histogram using Excel. Example, frequency table and histogram. We will create a frequency table of the Whitner Autoplex sales data using Megastat. Later we will add two other graphs, a frequency polygon and a cumulative frequency graph, also called an ogive curve. Frequency polygon. A frequency polygon also shows the shape of a distribution and is similar to a histogram. It consists of line segments connecting the points formed by the intersections of the class midpoints and the class frequencies. Cumulative frequency distribution. Cumulative frequency distribution.